to Lin's Spotlight Daily, your daily scoop of entertainment buzz. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, the Hollywood odd couple that somehow works. Hollywood loves a good love story, especially when it's got that little twist of wait, they're dating? Really? Enter Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, the ultimate high-low Hollywood pairing that has everyone scratching their heads, wondering how these two stars from wildly different worlds clicked. But spoiler alert, it's actually pretty fascinating, and maybe even kind of adorable. At first glance, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet seem like they couldn't be more different. Kylie, the billionaire beauty mogul, reality TV superstar, and social media queen, is the embodiment of a flashy, ultra-public life. Meanwhile, Timothée is the indie darling, the artsy, slightly mysterious actor known for his moody roles and that tousled hair that could cause a minor frenzy. If Hollywood were a high school, Kylie would be the popular cheer captain with the massive following, and Timothée the brooding poet who's always in the corner writing sonnets. Put those two in a room together, and most people would expect fireworks, but also probably a quick breakup fueled by cultural and lifestyle clashes. Yet, somehow, these two have not only lasted but managed to keep their relationship mostly private for a good while. That's not an easy feat in the age of instant gossip and paparazzi drones hovering overhead like angry seagulls at a beach picnic. Dating experts have thrown around the term high-low relationship to describe Kylie and Timothée's romance. It's basically a fancy way of saying they come from two very different levels in the Hollywood ecosystem. Kylie's world is loud, glamorous, and business-driven. She's got her fingers in skincare, makeup, fashion, and just about everything else you can monetize. Timothée's vibe? Quiet, artistic, low-key, and deeply involved in more niche projects that critics and cinephiles swoon over. So, their relationship is like a mashup of a billionaire's boardroom and an indie film screening, a combo that's surprisingly working. Think of it as a remix where two very different beats somehow create a catchy tune. And maybe, just maybe, that's the key to why people find them so interesting, because they prove opposites don't just attract, they collaborate. One thing Kylie and Timothée did right was keeping things low-key for a while. Unlike many celebrity couples who seem to announce their love story with a confetti cannon on social media, because, why not, these two took their time. Experts say this was a smart move. By not rushing into the spotlight, they managed to avoid the inevitable whirlwind of rumors, public judgment, and cringe-worthy headlines that come with Hollywood romances. It's like they were quietly building a foundation before letting the world peek inside. This also gave them a bit of control over the narrative, in an industry where your story is often told by tabloids rather than yourself. That's a big win. So when they finally stepped onto the red carpet together, it wasn't a surprise or a publicity stunt, it was a natural progression of something real. There's also something to be said about how Kylie and Timothée are essentially bridging two very distinct cultural spheres within Hollywood. Kylie's brand is all about entrepreneurship and mass appeal. She's literally created an empire from makeup. Timothée, on the other hand, embodies a more classic kind of Hollywood cool, character-driven acting, indie films, and a slightly mysterious aura. When these two worlds collide, it's more than just a relationship, it's a cultural handshake. Their combined audiences suddenly get a peek into each other's worlds. Kylie's followers might get curious about those artsy indie flicks Timothée stars in, while his fans might find themselves fascinated by Kylie's business acumen and style empire. It's almost like a crossover episode of two very different TV shows, and that's a fun twist for fans of both. Of course, not everyone is convinced by this pairing. Some folks have questioned whether Kylie and Timothée really have anything in common, given their vastly different lifestyles and interests. Critics have called it a clash or even a mismatch, but here's the thing about relationships, nobody really knows what happens behind closed doors. Sometimes the quirkiest couples turn out to be the strongest because they complement each other in unexpected ways. Maybe Timothée appreciates the grounded side of Kylie's business savvy, and maybe Kylie enjoys the calm, artistic depth Timothée brings to her world. Plus, it's possible they share interests beyond the public eye that we don't get to see, like a love for obscure jazz records, or a mutual addiction to midnight snacks. If there's one takeaway from their romance, it's that love doesn't always follow a script. Hollywood might be famous for its cliches, the superstar couple who meet on set and make headlines the next day, but Kylie and Timothée are writing their own story. They remind us that you don't have to be carbon copies of each other to make a relationship work. Sometimes, it's about celebrating your differences, learning from each other, and blending your worlds in a way that feels authentic. And in a town where appearances are everything, choosing to keep things real and private, at least for a while, is a breath of fresh air. Well, only time will tell. Their red carpet debut was a clear sign they're ready to face the public together, but they're probably still figuring out how to balance their unique worlds. Fans will be watching closely, hoping the high-low dynamic keeps surprising us with its charm rather than drama. If nothing else, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's relationship is proof that Hollywood can still surprise us. Whether it's a romance or a strategic partnership, it's a fascinating story of two very different stars finding common ground, and making us all wonder what's next in this unexpected Hollywood tale. On the surface, Kylie and Timothée might seem like a mismatched Hollywood couple, the glamorous entrepreneur meets the artsy actor. But sometimes, the best relationships are built on balance. Kylie's world is fast-paced, full of business deals and social media storms, while Timothée's vibe is calm, introspective, and a bit mysterious. Maybe they provide exactly what the other needs. Think about it. Kylie probably appreciates having someone who's not constantly in the spotlight, but who understands the pressures of fame in a different way. Timothée, on the other hand, might find Kylie's energy inspiring and her entrepreneurial spirit motivating. Plus, love often thrives in the spaces where differences exist. It pushes people to grow, learn, and see the world through a new lens. Their relationship could be the perfect blend of hustle and heart, glam and genuine, showing us that sometimes, the oddest pairs have the richest stories. Who's your current favorite Hollywood star? Drop it in the comments. We love hearing from you. This is Lynn's Spotlight Daily, and we'll see you in the next Spotlight.